Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. If you haven't been with us, if you took some time off from the season, understandable. We started watching defensive tackle prospects for the 2025 NFL Draft, watching the first 6 or so and saying, all right, are they worth the 17th pick? And a couple of those guys may be available at 49. So starting to get an idea of what this draft holds for the Bengals. But moving on to another position is where we're at today. We're going straight to defensive end, keeping the defensive line focus. Trench focus is how we're going to start this draft process. D tackle, D end, probably go right to guard, interior offensive lineman. Once we get probably a couple weeks into defensive ends, because it seems like a strong class. How many guys at 17 should we consider? What should we be looking for? Maybe try to avoid the past mistakes that they had with drafting Myles Murphy. While there's still hope for him, we're going into year 3. Decisions have to be made. You can't just hope he's going to be better. You may have to draft at the end at 17. And if it's a strong class, who cares if you draft another pass rusher? We'll figure it out. One of the mistakes we should try to avoid in drafting a DN this time around is Myles Murphy was one of the worst in that draft class in terms of pass rush win rate, whether in every single scenario or in true pass set scenarios. You don't want that. You want to find a guy who's actually a good pass rusher if we want him to be an NFL pass rusher. And boy, do I have good news for you. We've got guys at the top of this draft that have those qualities. We're not going to start with Abdul Carter because we expect he's going to be drafted in the top 5. Instead, I'm going to probably the next guy. Slim chance he's there, but I've done mocks and he's been available. Let's start the tape with Tennessee's James Pierce Jr. Now, this is the game I was told to start with for James Pierce, and I'll explain why afterwards. But James Pierce can be number 27 for the Volunteers. You're going to see him at left end, at right end. You're going to see him stand up at linebacker. Very versatile piece that if you've read any of the L. Golden preview stuff around the internet, for Bengals defensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, they talk about a Viper player, a player that can stand up and drop into coverage from the DN spot. He doesn't use it that often, but it is something he would like to have. And man, James Pierce looks like he could fit that role. So let's start this game versus Iowa as he gets thrown down right away, but flips up and gets in the quarterback's face. Hey, there's some athleticism for you. We don't like to see guys on the ground, but how do you get up? How do you recover? Don't just lay on the ground and look like a beached whale, right? Get up, be athletic, be an athlete. And that next play here now, he's taking on the tight end and the right tackle, knocks off both, and makes a tackle in space. So right away, we're seeing what? We're seeing a little bit of athleticism, ball awareness, situational awareness, knows what's going on around him, even while he's fighting through linemen or fighting the ground on the first play, right? These are things you want to see. Looks like a natural football player. You see a miss move there, takes a shot to the face, tries to fight through it. But what does he do right here? Something we talked about with some of the defensive tackles is kind of they blew through the pocket and allowed the quarterback to run up the middle of the field. Something we'll have to pay attention to for defensive ends as you're playing Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. Stay in the pocket. Keep them in the pocket. How do you do that? You don't overrun the quarterback. And if you do, you quickly get back inside to help clean up the sack. Now, the interior guy won, right? The defensive tackle guy won. So, the play changes from there. But doing your job, focusing and putting the microscope on one individual player is what we're looking to do here. Throws the tight end right off him. All while vision is on the running back as he's trying to meet him back in this hole here. No one else on the defense is winning, so Pierce isn't able to recover and tackle that guy in the hole. Missed tackle here, but the defense around him helps. So a lot of impact plays so far in the first drive. As you see here, he's got a lot to read. He's going to check the running back. He sees he's not blocked, so that pauses him. He sees the wide receiver coming by on a jet motion, so he has to wait on that. And now does the quarterback or the running back have it? Running back has it. Fire your gun and hit the hit the back in the backfield. He does that very quickly, processes all that very quickly. I wanted to show this because I think it's an example of him still needing a little bit of power as a pass rusher. Let this roll back again. I want to try and catch this next play as it happens. It happens maybe 2 or 3 times a game where I'm like, yeah, a little bit more power would be nice here. He looks way overmatched against this right tackle in terms of size, but he misses that hand right away, right? So there's some development there with the hand usage. You see, he gets knocked off balance, tries to get back inside, and is going to get one more shove to the chest that gets him off balance again. So, hand usage, power, probably things he could still develop. Again, he looks like he almost wins that rush and maybe forces the quarterback out just a little bit, but can't finish the play because he can't disengage with the left tackle. So, I highlighted this one for this reason. He's going to convert to power here. Hands miss, right? You can see, let's see if I can draw this out for you. You can see this arm. That's his white glove right there. It missed. He wants to lift that hand if he, or that arm, that elbow, that bicep if he can, the tricep, get it up out of there and gain leverage. And he can't. And that's why he's able to, or he's unable to finish that play. So here he is, a defensive tackle, and he's going to get the opportunity to do the same thing. And what does he do? Look at him lift that arm, just as I was describing, gets it right at the elbow against this left guard here. And you see the technique is there. A little shimmy step, get him the punch. Now that he does, I'm going to lift that arm out of there, and now I'm going to start walking you back. Maybe a little hand to the face there. Looks like he's got the face mask, but I still like the hand usage and the ability for him to kick inside and rush from the inside. That's valuable. Do that once in a while with him. That'd be fun. Once he realizes it's a run going away from him, he easily hawks down and tracks that guy down from the backside. Going inside again against the guard here on a stunt. Not that I think that's a win or anything. Not all of these plays are wins. Again, hunting from the backside. I'm going to play that one over there so we can see. I like the speed at which he wins with his hands here. I mean, that 67 is just reaching and hoping, but he's like, no, I can run around you and still get involved in the play. I'm not going to run through you. He's that type of athlete. Again, reading the play, seeing what's happening, play action. Okay, boot. I can still get to the quarterback fast enough because I'm that type of athlete. Here he is again, breaking on the inside of these blocks. He's not flowing with the natural flow of the play. He can already tell where this play is going. So he's like, I'm not even messing with the tight end here. I'm just going to dive inside. I can see it. He plays with very good ball vision. Nice win around the arc. Ball's out very quickly. Can't do anything about that. It's a good pass rush win. He's going to come from the outside here, so follow the arrow. I'll pause it when he gets in. Right there. So he's got a lot of space here. That time he works inside and wins inside and gets the forced fumble on the sack. I didn't slow that one down, but you can definitely see the hand usage right there. He swats both away as he works inside, fights through it, reaches over, and pulls the ball out as he gets the sack. That's a nice high-level play. When you give him that much space, he's probably going to be a monster as a wide 9 rusher, getting him out real wide. I like this one too because he misses his initial move. He takes this punch to the face right there. Legal hands to the face. You may get that just like we had on him earlier. Probably a flag. Probably a flag on 67 here at right tackle for Iowa. So I think that causes him to miss his initial move. But now that he's got space and he has to decide, can I finish? Can I run around the arc here? Can I still get this way and beat the tackle and get to the quarterback? Or is it best for me to just run right through his chest, convert this space into power and run through him? And that's what he decides to do, which I really like. Look at this long arm. As he's taking punches to the face again, gets his hand up to help bat the pass. That's a high quality win, high quality rush. There he is at linebacker in coverage. Oh my. Picks it off. And if I remember correctly, he hit a very high miles per hour on this return. That initial 20 yards to gain that separation as he's dropping into coverage, picking that off. He is an athlete. And the fact that he can easily drop into coverage and make a play on the ball like that just adds to more of what you can do with him. Going around the arc here, keep and contain. Again, we've seen him do that earlier in the game. He's doing it here. He is starting to take over at this point. These are a lot of plays in a row here. And he forces this running back out and out of bounds to finish this game off, where Tennessee absolutely dominated. So that helps, right? You usually look good when you're dominating your opponent in a bowl game. But James Pierce here, really good game. And so I said I started with that game for a reason, and it's to paint the picture. That was from 2023 season. That was January of 2024. James Pierce's birthday is in October. That's in January. He just turned 20 years old in that game. He just turned 20 in that. Think of how strong and how much more advanced he'll be with his technique when he's 23, 24, 25 in his prime. He's a young prospect. Now, all of the games, I got 3 games from this past season. So I wanted to set the table with that. He looked better in 2023. 2024 was still very good, but the attention he received after that season makes it different. So we'll see that now in 3 games from 2024. But I wanted to set the stage with that of that's the flash of what he could be. If you can see that there from a 19, 20-year-old in 2023, whew, he's going to be good. It continues in 2024. 3 games here. Next game up is against Alabama, and we've got a guard we're eventually going to watch here. Maybe the top guard in this draft class. Not going to focus on him now, but if we see 52 do anything, not a bad game to watch. I like watching all Alabama games if I can. Typically, they have the biggest, strongest, best offensive line, especially while Nick Saban was there. We'll see if that continues. Georgia's been up there lately. But even Iowa has been, as dysfunctional as their offense has been, has had some good linemen doing good blocking schemes. So we're going to try and stay with that. Ohio State will be the game we finish with, and I think Oklahoma in between. So let's kick this off. Number 27 for Volunteers in 2024. Pierce on this side this time. Kind of dives inside a little bit here on the run, right? Definitely the run was supposed to go inside, but he dives in early, and luckily his defense cleans it up, which I was actually really impressed with Tennessee's defense here in this 2024 string of games I had. He's dropping into coverage from the left side. Again, just nice to be able to have a guy that can do that. First, right away, we see him on 2 different sides of the field. Uh, that's beneficial. The Bengals don't really have that. Converting to power here, I like this. Again, that long arm inside, he's got great bend. This shows flexibility when you can get at this angle, right? I mean, we've got a full right triangle here, but getting that hand in there and then still going to win around the arc. If you watch at the end, how he's opening this shoulder, right? We've got this lineman this way. We're eventually going to get him turned that way, if that makes sense. So his butt's facing the quarterback now. That's good for the alignment. But once you open this up and right about there. So once you get him turned that way, you've really got a chance to flush this quarterback out. You can see it. I wish we had a side angle, but those feet, the angle on his feet, man, the ankle flexion is very, very good with him. You can tell he's an athlete, and he's going to try and get a hand on the quarterback, and we're flushing him out of there. The thing that maybe we didn't realize before was that they put all 3 of the other pass rushers on one side and then let him just run one-on-one against the right tackle. It's a way to get Pierce, a clean, free shot at just one-on-one pass rush, but it leaves you exposed a little bit because now the quarterback has such a wide lane to get out there and run with the ball. So you can see it there. The quarterback resets his eyes. It's an open target. That should actually be a very nice throw. I think that's Jalen Milroe. So we're back on the right side this time for Pierce. You want to do that play action? You want to mess around and, not fully block this guy? He is too good of an athlete to do that with. It's like, okay, yeah, we're just going to, we really want to sell this run. Maybe he'll dive inside. Okay, but in this case, I think this guy's got inside and he's got outside. So you're letting a free rush for this type of athlete. Good luck. Even on a quick go ball, he's hitting the QB and getting in there. Back to the left side now for Pierce. Try and go with a little hezzy step there. And then, because we've beaten this tackle so far to the outside, let's try and beat him now to the inside with that. Now that he's a little bit worried. You see how wide that the tackle gets on that one? And we're going inside. And you can see the attack point is more on this shoulder. You can see how he wants to step back with this power leg and wall him off. And Pierce does a really good job of getting in the face of the quarterback, opening up that shoulder, opening the gate that way. So we've seen him go outside now, inside. Here he is against a tight end in the goal line situation, throwing that tight end through the running back. We talked about this with defensive tackles. Pierce is controlling them. And since I can't get past you, I'm going to push you into the gap that the running back is trying to run through. Look at that get off. So we've seen athleticism, we've seen power, we've seen great vision, knowing where the ball is. We haven't seen yet a good shot of his get off. We're going to get it bunch in 2024. This right here, the tackle's moving, he's moving. That ball's getting snapped. You can actually see the center's hand starting to move, his left hand, because he's got to get that one up. But this is a really good jump for Pierce. Now, he doesn't beat his guy, but that initial jump can do damage to the O-line and the quarterback. Again, we've got to control this pocket, right? We've got blitzes coming from this way. As you're trying to rush, you realize this quarterback's escaping. I've got to be able to stay with him and contain him and keep him in the pocket. Pierce does not do a good enough job here, is unable to stay with the quarterback. We don't get a completed pass because you string him out far enough because you're at least an athlete, but we would like to see him contain better there. Again, these aren't just highlights. These are just the plays that I think are notable and worth talking about. A little bit better here, right? He's got to watch that inside stuff, the handoff, the fake, and then get in the quarterback's face, who still completes it with pressure in his face, which is a good sign for Milrow as well. Again, learn from your mistakes. Don't let them out. Don't let them out of the pocket. And they're trying them now. After that first one of allowing the quarterback to get out, now he's getting in the QB's face and staying with him a little bit more. He's got to read, right? He's got to look inside. First, we're reading run. So I'm holding this guy up and I'm looking inside. And now I see, oh, the quarterback's got the ball. He's keeping it. Okay, time for me to shed this guy and still watch for number 2 coming all the way across, right? We don't want it. They end up tying each other up, but we don't want to get either knocked off by him or distracted by him. Still keep the quarterback into the pocket as you do there. You can see this being against Lamar Jackson, right? And then make a nice tackle in the open field, diving, tackle radius. It's a really good play by James Pierce. 3 plays in a row trying to contain the quarterback. Does a good job. All right, let's try and lift this hand off of him. And you see he's trying to. He cannot get that hand off of him. And he had good hand placement. Probably needs be a little stronger there. We've got a tush push quarterback sneak that Pierce gets involved with. I'm not sure how much of a high-end play that is or not, but he was involved, so I kept it. This is against Booker at guard. We're talking about Booker might be a top 12 to 17 pick, right? He's got the leverage here. Pierce has got him. He's underneath him. He's long arming him. He is bending Booker's back backwards. That's a lot of B words. Look at this thing. He is underneath him. Strong. Look how much stronger Pierce looks in year 2. And now he's 20 years old in these games because he doesn't turn 21 until October. Again, hold the guy up, disengage. The running back gets a couple yards after contact there, but he does a good job tripping him up. When around the arc, can we get our hands in there? Rip, get that hand off you if you can. He doesn't win clean enough, which is why probably an extra step or 2 until he gets to the quarterback. Still is able to run the arc through contact, which shows good lower body explosiveness and strength and agility and balance. All those things you need. You can't just be, I don't know if you watch the Pro Bowl at all. You can't just be Kevontae Turpin blitzing the quarterbacks, because when you can't be a thin, fast guy as a rusher. When you receive contact and power from the offensive line, you got to be able to absorb it and still run the arc. And Pierce did it on that one, even though maybe inconsequential. It's got to read inside again. We've got a lot of action going inside. Look at the adjustment in the air. Did you see that? Did that make sense to you? I really like this play because it shows the type of athlete he is. As he's got to redirect and jump off the ground, try and get in the quarterback's face. And he does. Keeps that to a modest gain. He's running the outside this time the other way. Can we use power and open 57 up again? Very similar to that rush earlier against Iowa, right? Where he came from the outside, opened up the inside, to the quarterback as we've got 42 going around the outside. This ends up being a completed pass. Like how, right? But when you have complementary pass rushing and this guy's going to go around the outside and you're going to come wide and go inside, well, if the quarterback wants to bail out, the other DN's going to get him. If the quarterback wants to step up because this guy is providing the outside of the pocket, well, then Pierce is going to win through the inside, which is a really good rush from him. Again, uh, we've seen every trait we're looking for in just 2 games. Now coming around from the right side, takes a shot at the quarterback. He must have thought the quarterback was keeping the ball. Interesting play for him, but I like to see the attitude and toughness. You need that at defensive end. And you see him getting double teamed on that one. He's starting to get that attention. I think Alabama's like, yeah, we can't let this guy keep beating us. I would have liked to seen him make this tackle, to be honest. Does he have to make this tackle? And is this his man? I don't believe it is. But at the same time, excuse me, at the same time, you disengage from that tight end, you're in the clear here. I'm sure he's thinking like, who's got the ball, right? Is it the running back? Because I can't tell even from this still shot who's got the ball. It's not clear that the running back has it. Like he's probably got to wait a second, and then he goes, "Oh, the running back has it. Too late for me to make a play." It's not his gap. It would have been an A+ play if he could have nailed that. Run the arc here on 57, beat him around the outside. You missed the sack, but you made that a much harder throw for the quarterback. That's a win for Pierce again. All right, now let's see some power against the run, taking on this pulling lineman. That's, again, Tyler Booker at left guard, 52. Take him on. Give him nothing. That's what he did. That's his job. Now the guys inside can clean it up because Booker didn't create some wide space where the running back can bounce it out. Can we get through power on 57? We can't there. I like the little spin move, though. Show a little bit of counter move. Again, the get off is crazy, right? Is he offsides? I mean, that's as close as you can possibly be. Just beats the tackle instantly with it, dips around the corner, and sacks the quarterback. I mean, we'll take it. They didn't call a flag on that one. James Pierce ending that one very strongly. He's at defensive tackle here. Just highlighting that he's playing multiple positions. He didn't really have anything to do there. Getting knocked off balance just a little bit. Maybe potentially keeping the quarterback in the pocket as Tennessee picks that pass off. Next one is against Oklahoma. And Oklahoma typically has some good linemen every year. Pierce is going to instantly, I like the way he starts this game. Just because watch this hop step right at the beginning. Right? That's cross chop, quick win, knocks that outside hand, and then cuts the corner. And still flows and gets back to the run because that's a run play there. If that would have been a pass, it would have been maybe a very clean win. Again, fully in control as he's got to watch the play action. Now we're going to let it roll a little bit faster as we go. I mean, taking on that tight end coming all the way across. Don't give him an inch. Maybe you gave him an inch there, but that's it. Get in and crush that running back. You see that hit? Very nice play. Coming from the other side now, going with a power move. Gets it close to the quarterback. I wouldn't say that's a win, but I like to see power moves. Holding on the double team there. Gets thrown inside, but he did his job to help his defense out. Loops all the way inside. Get between those two. To at least make that a contested throw. Get close to that quarterback. Don't give him any extra time. I like how much he avoided that chop, that cut block, and then still got his hands up on the screen pass. He plays very fast, right? You see the way, like even there, missed tackle, but the fact that he, at this point, I like here how you can tell how fast the defensive player processes because sometimes they'll get into plays that maybe they shouldn't right away. And watch him coming from this side, right? We already know he's going to loop inside here. But watch when he gets to about this point, he realizes what's happening and the quarterback's stepping up and he goes even further to make sure the quarterback doesn't get out of the pocket. So I'll let that run again. So you see he gets there and he goes, okay, let me get out even further. He does miss this one though. He had like a 20% missed tackle rate, which is about what Trey Hendrickson is at as well. In that quarterback's face, contain, contain, contain. No, lost that one. We need you to keep those Lamar Jacksons in the pocket. Went around the edge again. Hand usage here. Can you lift this guy up? Can you knock that outside hand? I think he does just enough. Switch him to the other side. He's communicating, talking with people. Like to see that. Give him that little slip, right? Go with the bowl. Pull it back when he tries to lean inside on you. And then pull it back and you're free. Get to the quarterback. Finish the play. It's a meeting at the quarterback. 3 guys there. Goal line situation. Take on 70. Allow your linebacker to come free and make the tackle. Don't get blown back. Why I like that play is because 70 is going to try and block you into the linebacker if he can. He thinks he's probably much bigger than you. He's going to blow you into the end zone and cause chaos for your linebacker and trash for your linebacker to fight through. Pierce holds him up completely and allows this guy to run free. Let me go back here because I want to see this rush completely. Because this ends up being a sack. Now, I wouldn't say a high quality win. We'll take the sacks. Don't get me wrong. But as you see here again, he's going to end up upfield, right? We don't want to overrun our pocket here. And he was about to be overrun. So he's going to double it back and make sure he keeps his quarterback in the pocket as quarterback's trying to escape this big defensive tackle that's winning in his face. So I'll replay it now. You see cuts back inside. Just make sure the quarterback doesn't break free. That's a win by 51 at D tackle, but you need your end to do the job too. Again, same situation. Not able to keep him in. The whole defense does a good job of making sure the quarterback doesn't get too far. But we got a couple losses on contain here. A couple wins, a couple losses. I think this is a win around the arc. Everyone else wins and gets there before him. Throwing this tight end down. Quarterback got out of the pocket again. Are we not containing? Is he not supposed to be containing? It seems like more than a few times in this game, he's going for the inside move, and he almost did completely there. I think he does a good enough job on this play. Because look, as he's going inside, he's like, okay, no one's containing anymore. Let me make sure I get back to the outside. Eyes on the quarterback. He is very visual. He keeps his eyes on what's happening and isn't laser focused. Even Trey Hendrickson, for as great as he is, I think the reason why he's not great against the run is because he gets so laser focused on the quarterback. But Pierce does a good job here, even being held, I think. Reach out, get that quarterback a little bit. Make it so it's not a free run up the middle. I thought he could have picked this off. He never saw the ball. That's why I slowed it down there. It's right above his head. Never sees it. For all the credit I've given him for being ball focused and ball aware. We got a meeting at the quarterback, behind the quarterback, and he and the other D end run into each other. See that? I want to replay it completely because I didn't pause it or slow it down originally, so I'm going to do it now. Double swipe to win around the arc. I think he does just enough. Problem is, both guys are winning around the edge here. So as the quarterback is stepping up, sometimes you meet the other D end face to face. You kiss in the backfield. And quarterback takes a nice shot there. So we're going to go. I believe we get a goal line play after this. We do. Pierce is on the other side here. Going to try and win with power around the outside. And quarterback stepping up again. And finally, the last contest we have, last tape to watch, is against Ohio State, who had maybe the best offensive line in college football this year. And probably the roughest game for Pierce. And this game gets out of hand. So you see, I think, better plays early, and then things start to unravel a little bit as they leave him unblocked right away. And he hawks it down from the backside and makes the tackle at or just behind the line of scrimmage. But if you want to leave him unblocked and he's an elite athlete, well, go ahead. He will make the play, or at least make you pay for it. And as he's going here, I'm going to go over some of, now that we know his traits and his abilities, a little power against that guard there inside. We know what he's capable of. I'm going to let it run and go over some of the data while it's running, while we're watching the tape, even though these are the highlighted plays and the ones that are Pretty good as he gets a little power into the chest of 70 here. Creates a little bit of separation. You need that. And then around the arc. James Pierce on our spreadsheet here, all the data we collect and the production data and play data, he's in the 97th percentile for PFF grade amongst edge defenders. His pass rush grade is in the 96th percentile. His run defense grade is in the 74th percentile, which is still good. His pressure rate, 98.8 percentile. The amount he gets pressure per snap, I mean, there's not many better prospects. You see he's getting double teamed and dumped here. Ohio State knows who they have to block. Basically 99 percentile for pressure rate. His pass rush win rate, 98.5 percentile. He is as an elite of a pass rusher as you can draft reasonably. His sack and hit rate, 93rd percentile. His true pass set grades, 95th percentile. His true pass set win rate, 97th percentile. And he's 60th percentile for batting passes as well. He's a stud. Oh, and he's young, right? Let's get his exact age at the draft because we keep track of that. He'll be 21 and a half at the draft. So at some point, he'll turn 22 his rookie season with the Bengals. That's what you want to draft. Can I have this? Can I have this guy that's highly productive, young, SEC school, whatever that's worth? We don't even know anymore. Shows a variety of moves and an ability to win as I'm saying this here, right? Shows enough power, and I think he's going to get stronger and bigger. Produced at a young age. Has all the numbers you're looking for. Checks every box. If you're wondering, I haven't mentioned, he's listed at 6'4", 245. So we'll have to see exactly what that comes out to. Is he too light? The Bengals typically like him 255. 255 is like the minimum. I think Dante Moak was 252, if I remember correctly. I probably should look it up, and somebody probably will and correct me in the comments here. Please do. I don't mind being corrected at all. But they typically don't take the smaller guys. Is he going to be 250 at the combine? Will they say to themselves, hey, in a year, this guy's easily going to be 250. It's not a problem for us, 255. I can see him ending up 260 easily by the time he's 22, 23, 24 years old. So currently, James Pierce is 14th on consensus rankings around the internet. We expect those rankings to change as we still have a lot of the process to go, right? We still have the athletic testing and the combine, and then rumors and notes from NFL teams that leak through the media to find out where the true ranking for these guys. Well, 14 puts them in range for the pick at 17. And there's other players that could go higher at the end, right? Like Shamar Stewart and Mike Green and guys we're going to watch. But to start with Pierce, when I watch and I come away, I go, well, that guy's going to be a top 10 graded player. He's not going to be there at 17. But that doesn't mean he will be gone. So we have to be prepared and we have to be ready. And I think if it was me, of the guys, someone asked on Twitter, you should rank the players that we've watched so far. And I thought, you know what? Good idea. Number 1, James Pierce Jr. of the players we've watched. Number 2 is probably Walter Nolan. Number 3 is Derek Harmon. And the other guys I said so far, I wouldn't take at 17. I'm not convinced. So I'm not going to rank them yet. I want to just rank the players that I say, as of now, turn the key on them. And maybe Deion Walker tests like a 10 out of 10 freak athlete. Then I'm going to say, maybe at 17, we do want to do that. But as of now, February, whatever that today is, I don't even know what today is. But as of now, I would take Pierce 100% at 17. No doubt in my mind. Walter Nolan, I think I would. And Derek Harmon, I think I would. I'm not sure yet. But of those 3 that I'm at least considering, Pierce, number 1. No doubt about it. I don't care what position they play. I don't care if you say, well, we already got Murphy. No. This guy will end up blowing Murphy out of the water in terms of prospect comparison. So I'm in. Let me know if you guys are in as well. I think to me, he looks like everything you want to draft in round 1. But the next guy I have that I've already seen the tape on and that I'm cutting up before I stop to come do this show on James Pierce, I think we've got another one at defensive end. I think the top of this class, very enticing to get one at 17. Until then, the next time on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics, Houday.
Hey, Dave Lapham here. While games are over for the season, there's no off-season for the First Star Media Group or First Star Logistics. Join me in the trenches and Joe Goodberry of Bengals on the Brain here on the First Star Media Group YouTube channel. First Star Logistics gave away great prizes during the season, which will continue with exclusive content and special giveaways during the off-season. So please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to help us continue to grow the channel.